Hey guys, what's going on? It's Calamity here, bringing you a brand new video. This one is going to be another what if series here. This one is going to be what if the Charlotte Hornets never traded away the Kobe Bryant pick. This one's really interesting to me. We're going to look at their roster right here. We got Kobe Bryant, Del Curry, Muggsy Bogues, and a few other players. I mean, their roster is not very good, so I don't expect them to do very good here the first couple years until we start getting some draft picks, start improving the roster a little bit, maybe with some free agent signings, which I'll have to do. Which, of course, I got the salary cap on and everything, so we can't do anything crazy. Fast forwarding here to the end of the year, we got MVP Michael Jordan. Taking into consideration that this is the 1996 season, I believe. Why Charles Barkley is the Rookie of the Year this year, I do not know. But it is true that he was on the Rockets at this point. This kind of confused me as well when I saw that. And then we go to the awards here. I'm trying to look at all the other rookies, and I don't see any that I would recognize. So just because I don't like that it gave it to Charles Barkley for Rookie of the Year when in fact he was sort of on the way out at this point of his career. But he was on the Rockets, so that's not an issue. Alright, so we go to the NBA First Team Awards. We got Jordan, Hardaway, Malone, Webber, and Robinson. Then we got Hardaway, Kidd, Garnett, Barkley, and Robinson again. I don't know how that works, but so again, this is a simulation. There's not much I can do. I mean, I know the roster doesn't have any duplicates or anything like that. So I mean, it's hard for me to do this. It's obviously not going to be quite as literal as the actual rosters would be. We got Barkley on the all-rookie team again. I don't know that. I don't know why it's like that. So there's all the awards. Then we go to the postseason here. We did make the postseason. We're facing off against the Heat in our first year with Kobe Bryant on the team. And it looks like it's not looking good right now. Yeah, we just got eliminated in the first round. I did change the first round format to 5 games because that's what they did at this point in the NBA. I don't think they switched to 7-game series until I think like early 2000s maybe. I'd have to look at that again, but I just left it at that for now. And it looks like the Heat. Wow, look at the Lakers still making it to the finals, but they lost to the Heat. The Heat win 4-1. And let's see who the MVP was of the finals. And it is, of course, Alonzo Mourning. So again, we're running into the same problem we did as in the previous video with the Magic, where we're running into Alonzo Mourning and the Miami Heat in the finals. Looks like almost every year. I think the simulation it likes to. No, I'm not saying Alonzo Mourning wasn't good, because he obviously was, but I mean, for him to win as many things as he did in the last video, and now he's already winning a title here, I think it values him a little bit higher than what he was actually like playing. And again, that's not saying Mourning was not good, because he definitely was. So now, simulating until the next season, we go into the playoffs here, and it looks like we got the MVP is Karl Malone this time. Rookie of the Year is Lyle Simmons. Don't know. Sixth Man of the Year, Monty Williams. Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Wallace. Most Improved, Bruce Bowen. And Coach of the Year, obviously I can't change the coaches, so it's Eric Spoelstra. Then we got Jordan, Hardaway, Malone, Webber in the first team. Kidd, Payton, Garnett in the second team. I'm going through these kind of quick here just to try and make this go a little bit quicker, just so you can see some of the awards to people. I mean, obviously some of these are given, but you can see Tim Duncan was drafted by the Celtics this time instead of the Spurs like usual. So yeah, there's all the season awards. Then we go into the playoffs. We made the playoffs again, this time as the 6th seed, playing against the Knicks. Hopefully we have better luck this time, which we already won 1 game, so we're already doing better. And tied it at 2. And we beat the Knicks. Nice. So we upset the Knicks in the first round. And now we're playing pretty well against Toronto here. Ooh, and then we ended up getting eliminated to the Raptors. So the Raptors now go to the finals, Eastern Conference against the Heat, and they win, and they are taking on, wow, the Lakers again. So the Lakers without Kobe have made back-to-back finals, but they have lost both times, this time to Damon Stoudemire and the Raptors. And you can see Divac is still on the team. He's still doing well for them, which is good because they don't trade him away for Kobe. And so now we simulated again to the end of the next year, which I believe is now the 98-99 season. We got Kevin Garnett, who we actually picked up in free agency, who gets MVP. Rookie of the Year is Quinn Justice. Again, I think that's a randomized player. Vlade Divac got what did he get? Defensive player. Most improved went to Tim Duncan. We got Duncan, Garnett, O'Neal, Kidd and Hardaway on the first team, Billups, Payton, Jameson, Malone, and Mourning on the second. Iverson, Stackhouse, Nowitzki, Johnson, and Camby on the third. So, I mean, all these still look pretty good other than the rookie teams, because those are, I don't know why, they're just not accepting the players that are rookies. So we made the playoffs again. This time we made it as a 3 seed because we got Garnett. I think we have Steve Nash too. So we beat the Bulls. We sweep them in 3 games, which is pretty surprising, especially them being the 6th seed. We then sweep. Wow, we upset the Magic and sweep them 4-0. Could this be our first title right here? We beat the Nets 4-1, and we are playing against the Sonics or the Thunder, whatever you want to call them, and we sweep them in the finals for our first championship, and Kevin Garnett does get the MVP. So no Kobe MVP here, just the Garnett one, which is good. So we'll simulate this next season again here. And I believe this is the 2000 season. If MVP goes to Kevin Garnett, I think that's the 2nd year in a row. And I don't see any other trophies that we got here. Kobe Bryant did make All-NBA first team. Made the playoffs again, but this time as a 4 seed playing in the Pacers. I almost said the Pistons. When I was going to say sweep, but we ended up beating the Pacers there 3-1. We're up against the number 1 seeded Raptors, and we're up on them right now. Now we're tied, and we upset the Raptors in the 2nd round. Now we're playing the 76ers, and wow, came down to a game 7. We ended up beating the Sixers. Now we're down to the Pelicans, and Pelicans won. So we made back-to-back finals. Stoudemire wins his 2nd finals trophy with a different team, this time being the Pelicans instead of the Raptors. So he's doing pretty well for himself. Unfortunately, we could not prevail against the Pelicans with Nash, Garnett, and Kobe. So we'll have to reconsider some of our bench players for next year. Here we are again at the end of the year. This is 2001 now, I believe. Kobe Bryant gets MVP of the regular season, averaging like 36 points per game. Oh my God. We ended up having the Rookie of the Year too, who I've never heard of. And Kobe made all first team. So did Garnett. And we're the number 1 seed in the East, playing the Pistons. We do have Boston in there to worry about a little bit, which the Pistons might beat us here. Wow, we did have a nice comeback against them there to beat them. Now we're playing the 4 seed Celtics. This could be a problem. We're up 3-1 now. Oh wow, we beat the Celtics in 5 games. And we're up against the Nets now. Looks like we're going to take care of business, and we do. Playing the Pelicans again, see if we can get some revenge here. We are up 3-2. Game 7, and we beat them in 7 games. So we had to beat Damon Stoudemire again. Kevin Garnett with his second Finals MVP. So Kevin Garnett teaming up with Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash to win 2 titles. It's pretty impressive for them so far. And this is the end of the 2002 season, I believe. MVP goes to Hedo Turkoglu. I can't say his name at all. I know who he is. He played on the Magic for a long time. We had 6th Man of the Year and Rookie of the Year. That's interesting. Turkoglu went to the Warriors now. And looks like we didn't make the playoffs this year, which is very surprising. I think we had to let go of Steve Nash, which is unfortunate, but he wanted a lot of money, and we have Garnett and Kobe Bryant still, so I'm fine with that. Let's see who wins the finals this year. It looks like it's going to be between, we got New Orleans, Houston, Indianapolis, and Brooklyn, with the 2 number 1 seeds still in it. It looks like Brooklyn might be there. Yep, they are. And Houston. Brooklyn and Houston. And it looks like the Houston Rockets might win. Wow, Nets with a comeback win to Game 7. Who was their MVP here? Keith Van Horn. 31 points per game in the finals. That's ridiculous. They needed it, though. They were down 3-2, and they came back to win in 7 games. Alright, end of the next year. Let's see, MVP, Gilbert Arenas. I've seen, in the last simulation I had too, he was MVP and Finals MVP a lot. So, we'll see how many more he wins here. Alonzo Mourning is still winning trophies, too, in his advanced seasons. Because I think he's in his upper 30s now. Yeah, he's 34. So, and he's still winning Defensive Player of the Years. I mean, that's says something about 2K simulation for him. And, wow, looks like we didn't make the playoffs again for Charlotte. So, it looks like we may be dealing with some injuries to either Kobe or Garnett or both, maybe. Looks like the Celtics are set up pretty nicely to go to the finals. Number 1 seed, they're about to beat Cleveland, which they swept them. They've swept both of their playoff series so far. The only team to do so. They're down though to Milwaukee right now. Ooh, Milwaukee in the finals, facing off against the Thunder. And 7 games, Thunder wins. So the Thunder win the championship, and Elton Brand is the MVP. Nice, good for him. Next year here, Gilbert Arenas again MVP. That's 2 years in a row. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Tim Duncan on the Celtics still. And get used to this P.J. Brown character, because he's on the Knicks, and he somehow improves the Knicks a lot in the coming years here. We didn't make the playoffs as a 3 seed, playing Atlanta in the first round, and we actually get upset to the Hawks, unfortunately, in the first round. Let's see if they can do a Cinderella story here in the playoffs, which it looks like they might. Except for that I spoke too soon. The Celtics ended up beating them. Celtics again, it's number 2 seed, so they're doing pretty consistently well in the Eastern Conference now. And they make it to the finals here. Do they win? Celtics? Maybe. Playing against the Trailblazers. They do. They win in 6 games. Nice, my Celtics won, and Tim Duncan gets his finals MVP. So let's see, Tracy McGrady MVP. Wow, he's on the Celtics too. So the Celtics got Tracy McGrady and Tim Duncan. That's 2 really good players. It looks like the Trailblazers got Ben Wallace too. So Tracy McGrady and Tim Duncan on the same team. That's quite the duo right there. I haven't seen a whole lot of NBA first teams or anything from Kobe in a couple of years. Looks like we missed out in the playoffs now. And look, I told you, the Knicks, number 3 seed because of P.J. Brown. This guy, he must be a 2K generated player because he goes nuts. And they lost the Toronto Raptors, unfortunately, but you'll see in the coming years he goes off here. He starts winning MVPs, he starts winning finals. It's crazy. Looks like the Celtics could repeat as champs here. They are in the finals, playing off against the Pelicans. Oh, except the Pelicans beat them in 5 games, unfortunately. Sean Simpson. Don't know who that is, but he won a Finals MVP somehow. Alright. And then the next season here, Tim Duncan gets MVP, averaging a double-double. Good stats for him. Rookie of the Year, another person I haven't heard of. No one else I've heard of, except for Tim Duncan, obviously. Tony Parker's on the Wizards. Kevin Garnett has now moved on to the Spurs, by the way. These are some of Kobe's stats. And he actually did make first team this year. Still wearing number 8. And it looks like we missed out on the playoffs again. So that's, I think, 4 years now we missed out on the playoffs, unfortunately. But now I think it's just Bryant. He's trying to will that team to victory. Here we go. Here comes the start of the Knicks run. I feel it. Oh, they're running into trouble against the Bucks. Oh, they lost to the Bucks. Okay. So there might be another year out. We got the Celtics though in the Eastern Conference Finals again, playing the Bucks. The Bucks have been their kryptonite though. Oh, they made the finals. Okay, Celtics versus Suns. Nice little matchup here. Going back and forth too. 7 games. Ooh, and the Suns beat the Celtics. Jerry Morgan, MVP. Don't know who that is again. So the Celtics have made, what, 3 finals in the last 3 years? P.J. Brown, there it is, first MVP right there. He averaged 22, 10, and 4. Ridiculous stats. Duncan still winning Defensive Player of the Year. Chris Paul, most improved on the Mavericks. Interesting. And we are back in the playoffs now against the Pistons. Hopefully we'll have a nice little upset here, maybe. Maybe. Have to have a comeback? No. Pistons beat us in the first round again. So, a couple disappointing years in a row here for the Hornets with just Kobe Bryant, unfortunately. No Celtics. We got the Knicks as the number 1 seed. They've swept the Washington Wizards in the second round. This definitely has to be the year that the Knicks win. Unless Cleveland beats them here. Nope, they made the finals against the Trailblazers. Trailblazers are up, though, 2-1. It's now tied. Game 7. Ooh, and the Knicks lose to the Trailblazers. What a shame. Alright. Trailblazers now. Who do they got for their finals MVP here? Is he going to show me? Gilbert Arenas, MVP of the finals for the Trailblazers. Alright. Next year here, I believe we're like mid-2000s now. P.J. Brown, MVP again, 2 years in a row. His stats gone down a little bit, actually. So, but he's still winning MVPs. Ben Wallace Jr. is now playing, apparently. Tim Duncan, Defensive Player of the Year again. I believe that's 3 in a row for him. And we missed out on the playoffs again. Charlotte. Yikes. Not doing too well for Charlotte here. Knicks, though. The Knicks are sweeping the Bulls first round. I mainly gravitate towards the Eastern Conference for some reason. I don't know why when I watch these. Knicks beat the Washington Wizards again for the 2nd year in a row in the second round. Looks like they put the beat down on the Magic, who are the number 2 seed. Playing the Pelicans. Pelicans are been pretty consistent in the finals. Goes down to another game 7. Oh, and the Knicks win their first championship in God knows how many years, with P.J. Brown Jr. as their savior. Alright, next year here. P.J. Brown again. His rebounds went up, but everything else stayed about the same. So the Knicks are probably going to have another pretty good year. Probably number 1 seed. Probably going to make the finals. Will they win the finals? I don't know. I didn't see what team LeBron James was on, but he did make the NBA first team right there. And we missed the playoffs again. So that's 6 years now that we missed the playoffs, unfortunately. Wow, the Knicks lost to the 76ers in the first round. Talk about an upset. Philadelphia might beat the Bucks too. Oh my God. They did. They beat the Bucks. So we got an 8 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they're holding their own against the Pistons, except they lost 4-1. So Mavs versus Pistons. Mavericks won. Is Chris Paul still on the team? Does he get MVP? Come on, show me the MVP. Wow, they destroyed them, 97-50. Does that say? Damn. I think Chris Paul did win his first finals. First and only, and he does get his first and only MVP. So Dallas had a pretty good year that year. Number 4 seed going through the West. This is the end of the next year. PJ Brown is just sweeping the MVP trophies now. Rajon Rondo, 6th man of the year on the Kings. Nice. Derrick Rose, most improved on the Kings. So you got Derrick Rose and Rajon Rondo. That seems like overkill. Again, we missed the playoffs, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on with the Charlotte Hornets right now. We're about like 2006, I think, right now. 2007, maybe. Looks like Orlando had a really good year, number 1 seed, playing against Indiana. I almost said Indianapolis. Now they're playing the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. They should be able to beat them pretty easily, but they're having their problems. Bucks again in the finals, man. As a lower seed. The Kings beat the Bucks in 5 games. So we know the Kings have Derrick Rose and Rajon Rondo, so they both win. And Rondo gets his first MVP of the finals. It was actually 4 games. They swept the Bucks in the finals. Wow. So the Kings, I believe, is that their first finals trophy ever? I think it might be. PJ Brown again, most improved, or 6th man of the year goes to Mike Conley. Most improved goes to James Harden on the Nets. Interesting. Another year, Charlotte not making the playoffs. I'm kind of letting, since Kobe was on our team for so long, I'm letting him kind of do his own thing now. So he may be on another team by now. We'll find out at the end of this video when we do his stats. Looks like the Knicks were number 1 seed, so they're probably going to do pretty well this year. Looks like we might have the Kings in the finals again, but this time against the Knicks. Nope, but we have the Knicks versus the Timberwolves. And the Knicks win in 5. So PJ Brown Jr., if he's still on the Knicks, is probably going to get the finals MVP, and he does. I told you, get used to that name. It must be an NBA 2K generated name and player, but he gets my MVP again. I believe that's 5 years in a row. So I think we just start calling PJ Brown Jr. the next MJ. LeBron's actually on the 76ers, and Kevin Durant's on the Hawks. Steph Curry's on the Timberwolves. So that's interesting. Although PJ Brown's injured, I just saw, so that'll be interesting for the playoffs. Griffin's on the Raptors. Nowitzki's on the Pacers. Dwayne Wade's, I think he's on the Heat, which is pretty ironic. And we missed the playoffs again. So yeah, we did let Kobe walk in free agency, so he could be on any one of these teams. We got the Knicks as the number 1 seed again in the East. Sacramento's number 1 seed in the West. So start to get used to those teams. We said LeBron's on the 76ers. His team only made it as a 7 seed. So LeBron-led teams are not doing well in the regular season, apparently. I don't know what kind of help he has on his team, but they got beat in the first round of the Bucks. The Bucks have been pretty consistent during this whole simulation. Which they're already in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks. We got Lakers and Memphis out west. It's the first time we've seen the Memphis Grizzlies in the in the conference finals, but it's Lakers and Knicks. Nice little matchup for the finals. Knicks beat them in 5 games though. See if PJ Brown made a recovery. He did. And gets finals MVP again. So he's got about 3 of those now and about 5 MVPs. Make that 6 now at the end of this year. He also got Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 1.1 steal a game. Really not too much movement among the top players in the league. We did make the playoffs this year, though, as a 3 seed, so playing against Toronto, 3 versus 6 seed, we should be able to handle them, hopefully. Yep, we beat them in 5 games it took, unfortunately. Now we're playing against the 7 seed Orlando Magic. They're actually taking a 2-1 lead, but now we've taken the lead back. It's gone to 7 games, and unfortunately we get eliminated in the second round. So a lot of disappointing years in Charlotte after winning 2 trophies. Boston's back in it, though. We have 2 new faces out west with Portland and the Clippers. Looks like we're going to have the Celtics versus Trailblazers here. And goes to 7 games. Trailblazers. Wow, the Celtics with Gilbert, or the Trailblazers with Gilbert Arenas win their 2nd title. The Celtics have made, I think, 4 or 5 finals appearances now and only won 2. MVP goes to Gilbert Arenas. Thank you, Gilbert Arenas, for winning MVP instead of P.J. Brown. Marc Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year, which he's on the Hornets now. And as you can see, Kobe Bryant's nowhere to be seen here on any of these All-NBA teams, unfortunately. Don't know why. But we missed the playoffs here for Charlotte. But that's not the big thing here. The big thing is Kobe Bryant's career. See what we can do for his career. It's going to be hard to beat 5 NBA titles, though. I don't know if he's going to be able to improve on that. I haven't seen him in the MVP or anything, so if he is on a team, he's either a role player or he's just not doing what he used to. Looks like we got Portland and the Magic. And the Magic win, I believe, their first title ever. Let's see who the MVP for the Orlando Magic was. Ian Lucas, who is another, I believe, 2K generated. There he is, Kobe Bryant on the Clippers. He finally retires. So he played in Philly for his second to last year with LeBron James. Looks like his points per game were they dipped a little bit, about 10 points per game. But he played with LeBron, so I mean that's probably why his usage rating probably went down. So we've got 1 MVP, 2 NBA championships, 11 All-Stars, 4 first-team All-NBA, 1 second-team, 1 third-team, and 1 second-team All-Rookie. So unfortunately, Kobe Bryant could not match his output in real life. He does get a Hall of Fame induction, and he does get his jersey retired with the Hornets, which is number 8. He retires with Antoine Jameson, Hedo Turkoglu, and a couple other players. So all in all, again, it was going to be hard to match what Kobe did in real life. But he did get some help. Unfortunately, he didn't win any Finals MVPs because Kevin Garnett was taking all the glory. But he needed someone to help him. Just like he needed Shaq in LA, he needed Garnett and Nash kind of forming the first super team probably in this simulation and winning 2 titles. And again, he won 1 MVP, which is definitely a lot different. I mean, we started right here. So he lasted about 15, 16 years in the NBA. Kind of disappointing. I mean, even Michael Jordan didn't win as many titles in this. Jordan only won 1, I think, and it was at the very beginning. Which is true to real life. He won, I believe he did win the title that year, and Kobe entered the NBA because it was just in the Last Dance documentary. So yeah, it was about the 96-97 season we started, and I believe we got to the 2011 season or 2012 when Kobe finally retired. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave comments down below on what you guys think my next What If video should be, and as always, like and subscribe. See you guys later.